Hi everyone, Steve here from My Crypto World. It's the 18th of May and we've had a bit of a bloodbath on the market. Let's have a look and see what's happened. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at the website coin360.com, and as you can see on the screen in front of you, pretty much everything is down. Couple of outliners there that are in the green, but pretty much everything's red. Interestingly, well, I spoke about this in the last couple of videos. Matic is up. It's one of the strongest coins going around at the moment. So that's up, looks like to me 30%, an extra 15% since my last video on Sunday. So let's have a look at the market and see what has happened here. Now, if you remember in the last video, we had this blue line across the screen that indicated a support line right here. Now, even though the market had come up from that, bounced up from that, and had come back down, it hadn't closed below it until today. So you can see it hovered around there, it came back down, it actually broke through it. But again, the key performance indicator that we want to look at here is if the market closes below that resistance line. If it closes above it, it can travel through it. But if it closes above it, that shows normally a stronger sign of strength in the market. Yesterday, it basically didn't do anything. It pretty much moved sideways. As you can tell that the open and the close were very closely related there. And then today is the day that it happened, where we opened up at just over 2 trillion. The market traveled up to 2.05 trillion and then has dropped dramatically. And is at the moment is at 1.8 trillion with a low of 1.73 trillion. So we've broken through this resistance line here. So what we do now is we need to take a measure of where things are at, and we need to move this resistance line, because once this one's been broken, we need to look for the next strongest resistance line that the market may move to. And for us, it's going to be our previous low before that low, and we're sitting right around here. So in my private message group, I sent a message out today to everyone that I feel that the market now could continue to fall to a low of 1.643 trillion. So it would not surprise me if in the next day, or possibly before this day closes out, that the market slips further, and this would be our next resistance point. Failing that, if the market falls further than that, our next resistance point is going to be this spot here. Let's just draw that on. Horizontal line. So our next resistance line after this one is broken is going to be this one here, and that has got a low of 1.517 trillion. So $1.5 trillion is where that could possibly go. Now, for those, again, I keep repeating this, but it's really important if you're watching this on YouTube, you're not part of my smaller investment group. Very important that you distinguish yourself, whether you're an investor or a trader. Traders at the moment are going to be hurting. Many of them would be bleeding money at the moment. Investors really don't get, while it's a concern that it's dropped and it's disappointing really, we all know it's a waiting game. At some point in time, the market has to come back, and it will come back stronger. So sometimes you've just got to weigh this out and wait for the market to turn. Now, if we just go and have a look at some other sites here. Let's have a look. Which one was I looking at here? So this is a Cointelegraph, and we can see here there's actually reasons to be cheerful. So this was written around about 1 hour ago. And the article pretty much is saying that despite Bitcoin's price grinding down to post local lows below $40,000 per Bitcoin. Now remember, this is in American dollars. In Australia, it's very different. The pricing's different. Some analysts are finding reasons to be bullish. It goes down to say that pretty much we're now in an oversold territory for the first time since March 2020. So that's really, really positive. It means the market's been well oversold. They know that Bitcoin's worth more. So for those who have got a bit of cash spare, we would expect an influx of investors to now hit the market to get Bitcoin at a much cheaper price. Which is really good. It did go on to talk about one of the the other deciding factors, or that may have been a different article. There was also an article today regarding the Indian market. So India has pretty much put a ban on cryptocurrency. They are now rethinking this with a quote here: "There's a view within government that the recommendations made by the Subhash Garg are dated and a fresh look is needed at the use of cryptos rather than a total ban." So now the Indian government have come out at the same time the Chinese government have come out and said Bitcoin's not real. Remembering that China are also trying to launch their own cryptocurrency. So you sort of got to weigh up, why would they say something like that? Possibly to deflate Bitcoin, and so they can launch their own cryptocurrency as well. But the fact that the Indian government are now looking at cryptos and saying, well, actually there's more to this than meets the eye, and maybe we've taken a stance too far, and maybe we want to review how we could as a country and a society use cryptos for the better of our people. So that's very, very interesting, because, you know, if the Indian government do allow that, and I have no doubt they will, it's just a matter of time, there's instantly another billion people on the planet that can access, trade, invest into the crypto market. So it's not all negative news by any stretch of the imagination. Again, it's just waiting for the right time for you, and if you're an investor, hold it out and just wait. It will come back. As we all know, markets don't go up forever, but at the same is true, markets don't go down forever either. It's really just about getting that balance right. If you're a trader, you've got a couple of options. You can hold on to your losses and ride the wave and just grin and bear it. You could exit your position now if you haven't already been stopped out by a stop loss, and relax a little bit and just maybe take some time off from the market. Or you can consider an alternative option, and that's stop being a trader and maybe start looking at the emotional benefits of becoming a long-term investor, where yes, you might be a little bit disappointed that the market's dropped so far, but really what you're doing is you're trying to look at the positive sides of that. If you've got extra cash, you now can buy Bitcoin at a much cheaper rate. You can buy just about every cryptocurrency cheaper today than what you could last week. And that can be a very good way to dollar cost average in. So dollar cost averaging really means that if you've bought a stock or a crypto for $1 and it falls to 50 cents, buy more, because really what you're doing is you're averaging out the cost price from $1.50 to a median price of 75 cents. So that's a really good strategy and many investors use that strategy to offset some of their early losses while the market continues to recover and before it goes up again. So that's it for today. I normally only do one video a week, but I think with the market sentiment at the moment and a few messages coming through from people, a video was warranted today. Don't be too stressed about it. That is life sometimes. And yeah, get a good night's sleep tonight. The world will still be turning tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.